Hello, I've just finished making this little picnic set and I thought I'd just get outside and give it a road test. I made the first stool some years ago now. We wanted something portable and light to take to exhibitions to sit upon, and this is it. So I just copied the same design for the other stool and the table. It's almost entirely made of pallet wood and I think you'll see it's quite easy to make. So have a go yourselves. Cheers. So these slats I've cut down from a stretcher of a pallet, which is this chap here, and now what I'm going to have to do is plane all four sides to make them smooth. Now I've planed the broadest sides smooth, I've now got to do the edge, and for that I'm going to use this handy little fixture for clamping the pieces of stuff just whilst I plane. That's that one done. Turn it round. The stool legs are going to comprise of two rectangular wooden frames. One frame will sit inside the other one, and there'll be a pivot at the central point. So I'm going to make these cross braces now. For the cross braces on the legs of the chair, I'm going to cut four 45cm, that's 17 3/4 inch long braces. Now the top rail is slightly different in the sense that two holes go in vertically, but the top screw hole goes in at an angle of about 45 degrees. And the reason will be obvious as we progress with this stool. Spot of glue, and initially one screw only, because I'm going to have a little bit of adjustment. So I'll just put a screw in there. Now, the other cross brace goes on the opposite face of the stool base. Again, we'll just put a spot of glue. And a single screw. Bearing in mind that the angled screw goes in at the top hole, but I'll just put the vertical screw in first, and then I'll get everything square. That's reading that is square at the moment, so we'll just check. That's good, so we'll just fix it up at that. A second screwed. And now put the last two in, which are the angle screws. The other half of the stand is different because it fits inside the legs of the other frame. So if I put those two in, get the legs level at the bottom, and I can just mark the position with the sharp knife where it's going to go. Turn the whole thing over and do the same. And now if I turn the legs over, there's the position marked for the top and bottom rails. And there's the mark there. Now I'll mark the positions for the holes on the bottom rail, and then just use an awl just to give a guide for the drill. And do the same with the top one. Again, the upper hole of the top rail has to be inclined at 45 degrees. And to glue the second frame, just ensure that the bottom legs of the legs coincide with the other frame. And then the glue. And at the moment, the top of the frame, they don't coincide, but they will eventually. Up to the score line, and then again we'll just put a single screw in on this side and turn it over. Turn the frame over, check everything's in line there. Spot of glue. Now I haven't bothered to cut the inner slats to a different width. I don't think it's necessary. They can be the same length as the ones on the other side. Very quickly. That's looking good. Quick check. Lovely. Right, we'll let the adhesive dry now. I've clamped these two frames together now, and I've marked the point where I'm going to drill the hole for the pivot. And now I've just put a little projecting piece here so I can suspend this and hold it firmly while I drill through. For the pins of the hinges on the stool and on the table, I'm just going to use some 10mm round dowel, and it will fit in quite easily. It's just a push fit. That's it. And if you want to secure the dowel pin in place, I just cut a small sliver of wood, which is fractionally tapered, and I'll fix the dowel in with that. And I've just put a saw cut down in the dowel, put it in place, and there's the wedge in place in the dowel. So all I do now is just saw off the surplus. So that is fixed now. For the seat pan of the stool, I'm going to cut 2 supports for the laths to the same width of the stool legs. So that's 45 centimetres or 17 3/4 inches. And before I nail the laths to the seat base, I'm going to pre-drill the holes because I'm going to be nailing quite close to the edge of the slat, and it'll prevent the slat from splitting. Now I'm ready to attach the first 2 slats. So I'm going to just put a single nail in, and then I'm going to check for square. Put a glue on it. Now I can check for square. I've worked out what the gap between each slat will be, and I've just made 2 very simple little wooden spacer blocks so that I'll be able to put each slat in separated by that spacer block. So that's the seat of the stool finished. Just let the glue dry. In fact, I'll wipe off the surplus of that. Nice and rigid. And now I'll just finish off the base. And this is the reason that I did the angled screw in the top lath here, because now I've just rested at an angle the stool seat onto the frame, and it's set in the distance that this frame's going to open to. And I can now get a straight edge on there and just mark my cut line for the top of the leg. And now I can cut the stool top to the correct angle and in the correct position. Well, that's the stool finish. The table is made in exactly the same way, and I'll include the dimensions for both in my blog post. I hope you've enjoyed this film, and I hope you'll have a go at making this yourself. As you can see, the most important thing is to be methodical by checking that everything is remaining nice and square before you finally screw it all together. Sue and I have started an animation project over on Patreon. If you'd like to see what we're doing, follow the link. And even better, if you'd like to support us, you'll be able to for as little as $1 a month. Thanks for watching.